Alright, hey, welcome back. We're on Floodgate. Gonna go get our golden MOAs. Should be a pretty easy week. Want to talk a little bit about the rotational playlists. I haven't looked and seen what the actual monthlies are, but we'll talk about those. Yeah, I also want to talk a little bit about the exchange. So we've got a one MOA already down. I'm gonna go try to see if we can find the second one. I'm also thinking of making a separate video about Infinite with the HCS ending and what that means for MCC, blah blah blah. And I'm still kind of collecting my thoughts on that. I think it's too early to tell. Realistically, I'm probably going to find myself in the camp of they're not doing anything with MCC, but I want to collect my thoughts some more. I'll put a video out on that one. I think it makes sense. We got 2 of 3 MOAs down. Looking for the third. It's not there. It was fun when the MOA used to spawn up in this room with the flamethrower, because it would be just kind of like on the glass here. Like right up there. But I always check. One day they'll pop back up. 2 out of 3 down, not there. It's going to be one of these 2 locations inside. Sometimes you can get away with just skipping straight to Rally Point Bravo, which is really nice. I know your salvation, yes. Alright, there's our 3 MOAs done. Let's go talk about the monthlies, see what's going on there. And the rotational playlists. So for social, Escalation Slayer is in. We knew it would be, not a huge surprise there. I'm gonna guess what's next week. Yeah, next week will be Griffball. That's a skip week for me, but sure. Rotational playlist for competitive. H2A Team Hardcore is in. It was Reach, that just ended. Nobody plays this. I'm also working on some documentation. You may have seen me talking about, you know, what playlists are alive and which ones aren't. I want to make a video on that too. Let's look at our actual challenges. So for the monthlies, complete 20 weeklies. Look, we're already done with 1. 20 match-made firefight games, really easy. You can run through this in firefight doubles if I remember right, because it doesn't say full set match-made games. It just says match-made ones. Full course meal, cross-game campaign. You'll be able to do that one really easily anyway. You just do the speedrunning ones. That's what I suggest. One of the ones where you drive. 200 matchmaking kill. Yeah, I mean, these are just your typical, if you really struggle with getting medals and things like that, play SWAT. Pretty simple. PvE, 20,000 or higher. Halo 2 or ODST. I used to just do Metropolis for this, but you can also just do like Terraria Plaza, run through that one really quick. I think that's the one that people typically recommend. I'm not a big ODST like speedrunner guy, so you have to ask those people, but I think it's Terraria Plaza is the fast one. And like always, do a playlist, grab a friend, throw one skull on. Really, really straightforward there. Let's see what playlist I'm going to be able to find games in the easiest this week. It's going to be Objective, Survey Crew. So I do love King of the Hill, so King of the Hill will be populated, which is really, really great. Fully automatic weapons. I always recommend, even if you don't play CE, just go play CE and do Auto Slayer. You're guaranteed to only have automatic weapons. Technically, you can get a shotgun, but actually it would be a shotgun or a flamethrower, but just don't use those. Just use the AR. Really simple. I wanted to talk about the exchange. So first of all, this UI is awful. Like sometimes you'll come over here and try to click on it and it won't let you, which is really, really weird. But for the exchange, I wanted to talk about how you can tell the rotations. So if I look at where we are in the rotation right now, you can see we've got the sniper skin there. We've got the other skin next to it. And what you can do is, because it's 2025 and this exchange has been out forever, you can just go to a site like Halopedia, which has a list of all of the rotations for the exchange. You can go see what's currently in the shop. And then if you remember back in MCC, we can see what the next week is. So the next week's going to be that BR and then that skin, which is right here. And what I can do is I can kind of do a control search and I can go see, okay, well, this is that skin. It only comes up 5 times. So this is that skin with a sword. That's not right. This is that skin with a BR. Okay, so this is last week. This is this week. Or excuse me, this is this week. This was last week. This is next week. But there's other instances where the same skin showed up in the rotation. So here it is again. And so what you kind of have to do is you have to look back and see, okay, if I look up here, I see a bunch of warthogs and stuff from, season 1 or 2. If I go to my other list and I scroll up, oh, sorry, I was on the same one. Was I on the same one? Let me see. June 22, September 21. Here's these 4 warthog or 3 warthogs. Here's these 3. Okay, so these are the same rotations. I guess you'd have to go back a few more weeks to determine, because you can see if I come back up here, I can suddenly see this Halo 3 accessory for the back piece. If I go to the other instance and I scroll up, it's something different. So I went through some of my old videos and I see the 3 warthogs. I actually need to go back a few weeks more than June 18th. So let me go do that. All right, and like magic, I went and I found this video here from June 4th of this year, and I can see what was in the exchange was this mace and a spizer. If I go back to the exchange and I say, okay, I think we're on this same rotation matching June 2022, and I scroll up, I do see the back accessory. If I go to the other instance of the skin and I scroll up, it's different. So I am definitely in this rotation here from June of 2022. So doing a quick double check. Yep, here we go from April. So let's say, for example, that I wanted to get this Mr. Chief helmet. I could look at the list and I could say, okay, today we're here. Next week we'll be here. And then just count the weeks. So I would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks away before I could get the Mr. Chief helmet. If you wanted to go even further and say, for example, you wanted to get the Grunt backpack. Let's see where that is. I guess you'd have to go really, really far because the Grunt backpack is going to be up near the top, actually. So, yeah. So you'd have to go all the way down the list and then cycle back around to here, which I'm going to tell you is a super, super long time. I think with some of those stuff in here, it's like a 2-week rotation, or 2-year rotation before you'll see it again. So I did the hard work. I can tell you that we're definitely on this instance of June 2022. So starting today in July, end of July 2025, you can go, you can say, okay, we were here. My next few weeks, we can just see it lined out in front of us. There's a reason they don't update this website anymore. But I've seen people ask about that in the past, and I wanted to cover how it works. So yeah, it's just a big rotation. I've also talked about it in the past. I think everything for the exchange should be ripped out of the exchange and put in the catalog. They're not updating this anymore. I have no idea why. It's still just like a static thing that cycles, but it's kind of nice. I've got a nice catalog of where in the rotation we are because I've been making these videos for so long. I can't believe, I think we're almost on, are we over like 150 of these? It's like almost 3 years of videos I've been making on golden MOAs. That's a little concerning, but we're going to keep doing it. It's a lot of fun. So appreciate everybody for watching. Hope you take care. Hope I see you out there. Take care. Bye.